So, welcome everyone and good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming out today. I'm Helen Day, and I'm Vice President of the Friends of Maple Grove, and with me is our President, Shahriar Hussain. Thank you. Before we begin this ceremony, I'm sending greetings from the President of the Maple Grove Association, Philip Rash Flynn, who is unable to be here today due to a family illness. He sends his best to all of you, and especially to Justin, for this project that Maple Grove will treasure and display for years to come. I also wanted to draw attention to a very special guest. Dominic Critelli was born in Italy and came to America in 1929. He lived in Kew Gardens for many years, just up the block from the entrance to Maple Grove. And he served in World War II with distinction at the Battle of the Bulge.
Wow.
On April 8th of this year, Dominic turned 105 years old. And you can tell he loves his saxophone. The Maple Grove Association has watched the development of this cemetery for over 151 years. It's a privilege to have you here for this event. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Please stand as we welcome Justin Mogalong and the Scout leaders from Troop 201 Jackson Heights, Queens, as they march in, and we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance and sing the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dismissed.
Please be seated. I would like to present the President of the Friends of Maple Grove, Shahriar Hussain.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, veterans, scouts, families, neighbors, honored guests, and dear friends. I am Sharia Hussain, President of the Friends of Maple Grove. Today, on these sacred grounds of Maple Grove Cemetery, we gather not merely for a ceremony, but for an act of restoration, an act of remembrance, an act of patriotism, and perhaps most importantly, an act of love. We have learned that when memory is neglected, it begins to fade quietly, not all at once, but slowly. A monument that once commanded attention slowly becomes part of the landscape. As years turn into decades, faces fade from living memory. Names once spoken with pride and reverence become unfamiliar to passing generations. People no longer stop to reflect, but walk by each day without pausing, without asking, without knowing that behind those names are stories slowly fading from memory, growing quieter with each passing year. This is what has happened to the Kew Gardens World War II Memorial with the names of 27 young men from Kew Gardens erected 79 years ago in 1948. It stands at Lefferts Boulevard with their names on a metal plaque and a solemn inscription. Peaceful they rest in glory everlasting. 27 young men from this neighborhood, 27 sons of Kew Gardens, 27 lives interrupted by a world war. For many years, their memorial stood in quiet obscurity. But today, these 27 sons of Kew Gardens are remembered once again. Last year, through the extraordinary work of the Friends of Maple Grove Cemetery, historians, volunteers, students, and supporters throughout the community, this completed the memorial book, Peaceful They Rest in Glory Everlasting, restoring the stories behind those 27 names. For the first time in generations, these young men became visible again, not simply names, but human beings. In this book, we learned where they lived. We learned which schools they attended, the churches and synagogues where they worshiped, the dreams they carried, futures they never had the chance to fulfill. We learned that James Topolion, one of our own from Talbot Street, died at Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. We learned that Richard Smith, who attended PS 99 and Richmond Hill High School, became the only one of the 27 to come home again to Kew Gardens, returning not alive, but beneath a flag-draped coffin to be buried here at Maple Grove Cemetery with full military honors. Suddenly, there were no longer distant names from another era. They became ours again, sons of Kew Gardens. And now, today, we take the next sacred step. The original 1948 memorial gave them names. The 2025 book gave them back their stories. And now, the 2026 Wings of Remembrance project gives them a new form that lifts their memory skyward and restores them to the heart of this community. These angel wings rising before us today are not merely metal. They are symbols, symbols of sacrifice, symbols of ascent, symbols of its eternal remembrance. And they stand here because of something deeply beautiful. They are a product of a new generation. Today, we honor Eagle Scout Justin McGowan and a Boy Scout Troop 201 of Jackson Heights. When so much of history risks disappearing into silence, this young man chose remembrance, service, and duty. By his work, he and his troop have reminded all of us that patriotism is not only found on the battlefields. Sometimes patriotism can carry memory forward. Patriotism means refusing to let sacrifice be forgotten. And sometimes patriotism means teaching a community to remember its own heroes again. This is exactly what has happened here. And there is something even more extraordinary about where these wings now stand. This place forms what we have come to call the Sacred Trinity of Kew Gardens, a name created by Philip Rash Flynn, the president of the Maple Grove Cemetery Association. First, we have Maple Grove Cemetery, a sacred landmark where veterans from the War of 1812 to Afghanistan rest beneath the trees. Nearby stands PS 99, where many of these young boys once sat in classrooms as children. Nearby stands the first church of Kew Gardens, where some worshipped, and where the Kew Gardens American Legion Post 1374 that created the original 1948 memorial once gathered. The past, present, memory, and sacrifice are all connected. And today, standing among these angel wings, we are reminded of something timeless. Freedom is given freely. Every generation receives it because another generation protected it. These 27 young men did not know whether they would return home. Some died in the skies above Europe, some vanished into the Pacific, some fell in the forests of Germany, and some perished at sea. Many never reached adulthood before war claimed them. Yet every one of them carried within them the belief. Some things were worth defending and fighting for. It is because of them that we stand here free today, free to gather, free to speak, and free to remember. That freedom comes at a high cost for them. Memorial Day asks us to never become careless with that knowledge. Across America today, countless memorials are fading. Names are growing weathered, stories are disappearing, and communities are forgetting. But not here. Not in Kew Gardens, not anymore. Because we chose remembrance over silence. We chose resurrection over forgetting. We chose to bring them back into the light. There is an ancient Egyptian proverb engraved on a granite wall at the Maple Grove Cemetery Brownson Center that has guided this entire mission. To speak the name of the dead is to make them live again. Today, we will call out their names again, and in doing so, we give them life again. Not life of flesh and bone, but life in memory, life in communities, life in the hearts of future generations. And perhaps that is the true meaning of these wings. These wings lift memory upward. They lift the memory of sacrifice toward eternity. They remind us that the dead are never truly gone so long as somebody still remembers. So let future generations come here. Parents teach children, neighbors tell stories, communities refusing to forget. Let future generations come here. Let them stand before these wings. Let children ask, who were they? And let us always answer, they were ours. May these wings forever rise over Kew Gardens as a symbol of honor, sacrifice, patriotism, and memory. May the 27 sons of Kew Gardens never again fade into silence. Today, as a part of this solemn Memorial Day tribute, we will not only read aloud the names of the 27 sons of Kew Gardens who gave their lives during World War II, we will also speak the names of 84 soldiers killed in action and buried here at Maple Grove Cemetery. 84 lives, 84 stories of sacrifice. They came from different generations and different wars. Some fell in the muddy trenches of World War I. Some died on the beaches, battlefields, skies, and oceans of World War II. Others were lost in Korea and Vietnam, and still others in the mountains and deserts of Afghanistan. Different wars, different uniforms, different eras, but all bound together by one sacred truth. They gave their lives for others. And today, beneath these trees, their names will once again be heard, spoken aloud, remembered, and honored. Because remembrance is one of the greatest responsibilities of a free people. A nation that remembers its fallen remains worthy of their sacrifice. And for the veterans, sons, and daughters who served our country and who have been laid to rest at Maple Grove side by side, we make this promise: you will not be forgotten. Thank you. We now welcome Sheila Healy, Troop Leader of 201, and Jose Shafino, Troop Community Chair.
Good afternoon. So we of Troop 201 are very proud to be here and to be part of this remembrance. It is important to remember what it is that they sacrificed for, right? We need to be aware of what's going on in our community. We need to speak out what's going on in our community. We need to vote and to participate in the process, within the process of our government. This is the most important thing. These people who have died, men and women over these wars, work to guarantee our freedoms. And we must remember those freedoms. This is a way to honor those who have gone before, to be able to continue participating in society, being part of our governments, to be part of our communities, to act and to speak with honor and truth when it's necessary. And to be here today and to honor these men and women who have died for us and for our rights and for our government and for our way. It's humbling, and I'm glad that our boys were able to be part of it. This is something that we try to instill in our scouts, civics and good government and being a proper adult that is part of their community and part of their nation. So this is the epitome of what we can do now, right? Is to honor those who have gone before and to live our lives in remembrance of theirs deaths with honor, with participation, and with patriotism. So once again, we're very happy to be here. We're very glad that Justin chose this project. It's been very enlightening to know this part of the neighborhood, which is a little bit away from our Jackson Heights, and to participate in this project, which is so near and dear to the principles of scouting.
Very proud of you, Justin.
Justin, would you like to share some remarks?
Thank you so much for coming in today. My name is Justin McGolan. I am an assistant scout master from Troop 201, and I've been involved in scouting for 15 years. As you can see right behind me, we have 27 angel wings outside, all representing 27 soldiers from Kew Gardens who fought for us in World War II. This is not only an Eagle project, but also a project created for us to honor the lives of the 27 who have fought for our country. It was an idea that I had for a year. Back in May, I joined Veteran Crew 1. I told them about my trail to Eagle that didn't go well years ago. When I was there, my advisors told me about Maple Grove Cemetery and that they wanted 27 angel wings. This was an idea that sounded interesting, considering the fact that the cemetery wanted to do this for so many years, but never got the chance to do so. So from then on, I was committed to bringing this project to life. It cost a lot, and there was a lot of work to be done, but thanks to the support of my troop, other troops, friends, family, co-workers, and so many more, I was able to raise over $3,000 for this project, whether it was selling cheesecakes or getting donations. It took 2 weeks to reach my goal, and I got so much time to purchase everything on time. It took so much time and effort to get there, but it all got done. And now, we are finally here with the reality of honoring the 27. Even with rain in our midst, it didn't stop us. Even after doing this, I still can't believe that this day has come. I want to thank my troop, Troop 201, for not only giving me their support, but for also coming down to help with my project. I also want to thank two others, Alexis and Aria from Troop 1923G, for coming down to help as well. I want to thank Maple Grove Cemetery for letting me and the Scouts help out and for guiding me through this process. Their help means a lot. Lastly, I want to thank my family, my friends, my co-workers from PS19, and so much more for not only helping me with this project, whether it's coming down to help, donating, or spreading the news to everyone about this project, but your help and support means a lot, not only to me, not only to my troop, not only to scouting, not only to the cemetery, but also for the 27. This may be my ego project, but this day is not about me. This day is about the 27 who sacrificed their lives to defend our country. Their lives may be gone, but they will never be forgotten. And now that the Angel Wings representing these soldiers are here, they will forever be remembered in the hearts of all of us. It is an honor that they deserve, and we will make sure that these names, these individuals who took the time to fight for our country and defend it, to be remembered forever and future generations to come. Thank you all so much for your help, and thank you for coming down for this service.
We also have some special guests from the community today, and I would like to invite them up to share remarks. First, we have Chair of CB9, Sherry Alfredo. Sherry, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi everyone, I'm so happy to be here today. So I landed into this country on December 14, 1994. And this country had opened its doors to immigrants like me. One of the reasons why I'm very proud of this country, very proud of the patriots, while I still carry with me my traditions that I brought from Trinidad. I recognize myself as a US citizen and also this country. And I recognize all the veterans and everyone who has stood here. It's the land of opportunities because of the great people like Dominic and others that really fought for this place to be what it is today. And I'm so happy to be here, the chair of this community board, being here with the Friends of Maple Grove, Sharia, Carl, where's Carl? Carl's hiding in the back. Helen, and and I have Kevin from Community Board 9 who lives in Kew Gardens. I'm just so happy to be here and be a part of this program today. Thank you. You know, my dad, I mean, he was in Trinidad, but he was also president of the Red Cross Association for 25 years. So we have patriotic running in our blood.
Next, unfortunately, Senator Leroy Comrie couldn't make it today, but we do have Ari Innes from his office. I would like to invite you up here to share some remarks, Ari.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I wasn't prepared to speak, but I'm going to say a few words on behalf of the Senator. He's fighting a head cold at the moment, but he does send his regards to everyone. And for this monumental event, it is such a privilege for us to be in the presence of our veterans and be able to welcome them home, whether they are from World War I, were from World War I, World War II, and the wars following that. And as a community member, I grew up in Cambria Heights, Queens, and my step-grandfather was actually a veteran. He was in the Navy, and he served, I don't remember which particular war he served in, but I remember in my household it being something of, just telling me as I grew up and became a teenager of the things he did and the things he saw. Not particularly appropriate to tell a kid, but nonetheless, he shared his stories, and I loved him for that. And I loved when his friends would come over who were in those times with him, and they would just gather and just be such a family and a bonding experience for them and for me and my family. And I just want to say on behalf of the Senator and all of the community, we want to thank you all here at Maple Grove, and we want to thank the Scouts for dedicating this memorial and being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And lastly, I would like to invite Dominic Critelli up here to share some remarks. Dominic, we really appreciate your presence here today.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so proud to be here today. And I really mean it. I was born in Italy. I wasn't even born here. I came here when I was 8 years old. And I grew up in 129th Street, Richmond Hill, which is right down the road. And of course I passed my house. And to tell you the truth, my house is the best looking house on the block. Oh, it was a beautiful house. They fixed it up. And to be here today to actually remember and say, of course, you know, it's a day that it's not only for me. And I don't do these things myself. I have done this now for a long time. Few years, and I do it because of my buddies who come with me. I'm so happy, and every time I think of it, I get very emotional. But it was nice today to see everybody here, and we're all happy. Boy Scouts, I love the Boy Scouts, and all the people that are here. I want to thank you so much, and I hope that in the years to come. How do you come here? Okay? Thank you very much.
Memorial Day in America is a day to remember and honor those who died in active military service. The Friends of Maple Grove have been organizing scout troops and local volunteers to place flags on the graves of the veterans buried here. We have prepared a list of 27 Kew Garden soldiers who were killed in action during World War II. Justin and members of his troop will read off their names.
Robert Walter Abram, William Kenneth Bain, Arthur Berg, John Michael Birmingham, George Collar Blass, Robert Ainley Marsh, John Masquioli, Jacob Lewis Mass, Herbert Graham Nash Jr., Walter Francis Roth,
Martin H. Braun, Richard L. Cardozo, Norman L. Connard, Edwards Enders III, Leon C. Gold, Frederick C. Harris Jr., Howard S. Kern, Charles Warren Kluber, Alfred S. Kozlan, George C. Kuhn.
Barney Revere, Thornton Sanger, Richard F. Smith, Donald F. Sussman.
James M. Topalian, Paul Fred Vaughan, William C. Gibson.
We also have a tradition to read off the 84 names of young soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice and were killed in action and buried here at Maple Grove Cemetery. These young servicemen died on the battlefields of World War I, World War II, in Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. I call upon members of the Friends of Maple Grove Board of Directors to read off these names, along with some special guests. At this moment, we would like to bring up,
Our World War I casualties at Maple Grove Cemetery. Charles Gamble Baird, Jean Burkhan, Ms. Jean Burkhan, Edward Cater, Russell Chapman, George Montgomery Coleman, Clarence Collins, Alfred Nelson Dow, Austin Edward Gaynor, Arnold Walter Goodwin, George Getz.
Edmund Burt Gordon, William F. Hussman, Andrew Joseph Hummer, George Elmer Johnson, Leroy Livet, Henry Rudolph Meyer, William H. Nelson Jr., Frederick H. Shire, Charles Gustav Tom, Charles Ford, Charles Worth.
Frank Burkhart. Oh, she told me. World War II casualties in Grove Cemetery. John H. Abramson, Robert W. Baggs, Hayden W. Barrows, Harold B. Langston, Harry Bennett, William Benson, Henry Benton, Theodore Basins, Carl Borgelt.
Donald F. Carter, Donald F. Crawford, Raymond D. Dodds, George H. Duendway, Charles W. Emmerich, Jr., Charles L. Ebsen, Jr., William Findlay, Robert J. Foley, Thomas Francis Xavier Frank, William A. Freising, William Howard Griffin, Fred E. Hartill, Edward Rumsey Heiberg Jr., Wilbur George Hofer, Leo A. Hook Jr., Everett Raymond Johnson, William Kazakowicz, Keith Edward George, Howard A. Kemble, Edwin F. Kirschman.
George James LaRue, Charles H. F. McLevich, Robert Valentine Palmer, John A. Parton, Frank A. Ritchell Jr., George M. Schwarzkopf, Edwin Sloan, John Smith, Richard Francis Smith.
Warren R. Sonner, Charles A. Strebel, Daniel A. Steinbach, Edgar Corkin, Harmon L. Vader, Charles Vecchi Jr., William Vine, Thomas Murray Webster Jr., and George T. Wilson Jr.
Korean War casualties. Gilbert George Gopal, George Klausner, James Jacob. Vietnam War casualties. Demetrius Arniotis, Robert Aaron, Robert Edward Boone, Leroy Brady, Kenneth Neal Brandeis, Joseph Heisenbuttle,
Richard C. Brun, Michael Joseph Martin, Edward R. Randazzo, Robert Edward Rader, Sigmund Michael Sikorsky, Jason Eric von Zernick.
this moment, we would like to bring up our former historian in residence, Sean Miller. He's wearing an authentic World War II uniform. Sean will lead us in the playing of taps. Sean is an avid collector of military memorabilia and has brought a unique display of items on view here. Please take a moment to check it out when you have a chance. So we also invite people to come up and view the 27 angel wings that are behind me here that are on display, and that was a part of Justin's Eagle project. Copies of the book, Peaceful They Rest in Glory Everlasting, also tells the stories of the 27 soldiers from Kew Gardens who paid the ultimate sacrifice during World War II and will be made available. They're in the front here. If you guys don't have a copy, feel free to check them out. They're for the community, so if you want a copy, feel free to ask us. And I just want to thank you all for attending this wonderful ceremony and just being here with us today. Feel free to hang out, network. If you want to meet Dominic, I'm sure Dominic will be around as well. And yeah, thank you to all of the veterans who are here with us today.